So the computer is back in my room, and that means that things have been going pretty well, at least somewhat. So I did have to add another baud wire to the memory bus from last video, and it started working again, and it's been working pretty good for the last day. And that's good news, because I got my hard drive cage yesterday. So this is what I did to it. Actually, let me grab the other piece here. This is what it's supposed to look like. I think it goes in there like that. That's what it looks like usually. It's like a cage. Put your hard drive in it, slides in. It meets the edge connector inside there, and then you bolt it in here. But in order to make things easier, well, this is the hard drive that came in it. I bought this, and I got it for pretty cheap because the hard drive did not work. I was kind of hoping that the hard drive still worked and that the person who sold it didn't know how it worked, because, you know, how that can sometimes happen on auction sites. However, this actually didn't work. If you plug it in, it spins up normally. However, it does not initialize. It doesn't do its power on self-test. Instead, it starts buzzing. So there's something wrong with the head stack, probably. So that's out of the question. And since I already had to deal with a lot of repairing bullshit with this thing, I didn't want to play musical hard drives. So instead, I just went straight for the compact flash adapter. And instead of installing DOS from floppy disks, like I said I wanted to do, I'm kind of sick of doing bullshit with this computer. I just wanted to play some video games. So instead, I just went ahead and did the imaging. However, for the sake of a video, I've already imaged this, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it again because I don't really have any files on here that I didn't have before I imaged it, so I'll show you how I got this working. Alright, so this is my second monitor for my main computer, which I'm going to use for my PC-9821 for reasons I will show you momentarily. However, what the heck is that? Get out of here. So, anyway, I'm going to use the image that the Pirate Gamer Boy 12 on YouTube gave me. It's right here. I think this is like a sort of modified YAHDI image that he put some games on that I can play. Let me bring that over here. Anyway, it's got a README. It's got the image here, which is 555 megabytes. That's a drive image that's 555 megabytes. So, unfortunately, my compact flash card is only 512 megabytes. So, this will work with YAHDI, I think, as well, to make it smaller. Let me just format my compact flash. Then we can start fresh. So we got 0 megabytes used. So unfortunately, this image is too big. I've already shortened it with a program, but I'm going to do that in this video just to show off, or not show off, show how that works. I was recommended to use a program called HXD for shortening this drive image. Since it's like an image file, it's just like raw data, so basically all the data on the end that we don't want will have to come off. So if we open up our desktop, my desktop, open up the image here. There we go. You'll see there is a lot of data here. I can sit here and scroll down on this for a million years because there's like 555 megabytes. So anyway, this is basically just the raw data inside this image file. You got 16 bytes across, and you know, it just keeps on going down. This your address. So we start at 0001 and go to hex 00, hex 01, all the way to OF, and then you go to 10, and it just keeps on going and going and going. So basically, let me get to the very end here. That's the last byte here. 21E01FFF, which is this byte here. That's the end of the image. So let's open up this calculator here and type that into the hexadecimal. You can see what the decimal variant is of that, I guess. So we type in 21E0 FFF 568, or so you got 568 megabytes, I guess. So since this is a 512 megabyte compact flash, I'll make the image 500 megabytes. So let's just go to decimal here and get rid of all this shit. That's 500 kilobytes, and that's 500 megabytes. So we want our addressing to end at 1DCD6500. So let's try and find that. Oh boy, this is going to take a while. So 1D. Scrolling up, let's find this. There's probably an easier way to do this, maybe like a search function. However, I'm not big-brained enough to know this. So 1DC, that's going to be a while more. There we go. So this is where I want my drive image to end, right here. And I'll just select right there, go to the bottom. Here's the bottom. Hold shift, click. So I have all this shit selected from here to cut off about, 55 megabytes of data. Hit the delete key, and it's going to change the file size. I don't care. So now my file size should be just about right. Let me save as. I'll save it as short 2, since I already did short. There we go. Well, it's not quite 500 megabytes like I wanted to. But maybe that's the whole megabytes, blah blah blah. It's all that fucking numbered mumbo jumbo. All that matters is that it's now small enough to fit on my SD or my compact flash without having some data cut off. So basically now I have that image. It's close enough. As also recommended, Win32 disk imager, and it's a disk imager where you could write images to actual hardware, which you can also use with hard drives. And anyway, we're going to go to device H because that's my compact flash, and we're going to load up the HDD short2.image. We're going to write it to device H, which is my compact flash. Warning, writing to a physical device can corrupt the device. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So now it's currently writing to the disk. So I got this written up, so I can now remove my disk from the reader. You can take the drive disk cage, or disk drive cage, which I've modified with extensive amounts of masking tape, and also cardboard to prevent this thing from touching any of the metal surfaces and grounding out and damaging my computer. I don't really care if I damage this little adapter because that's replaceable, obviously. Alright, so now we got it. Now normally you would put the top on here so it would actually fit in here correctly. However, I'm going to leave the top off to make it easier to access my compact flash drive. All I gotta do is hold it to the very right, or very left. Find the edge connector and push it in. And, well, I was thinking about just leaving it unscrewed so it's easier to pull out and pull in when I want to. However, that means that the only thing supporting this drive cage is the edge connector, and I don't want to put too much strain on it accidentally. So I'm going to put the screw in here. However, maybe at some point I'll order a thumb screw for it, because I think that's just a metric screw, standard threads, metric screw, like M3 or something like that. Get that screwed in there so you can't really move it around, and we should be good to go. All we gotta do now is make the computer pretty again. There we go. Now the computer is pretty again. As you can see, my capture device doesn't hate the PC-98. So this image specifically, he gave me, it will give me like a red error message when it changes the hardware, or right after you write it, so we'll hit a W. And so basically, it's some sort of amalgamation of games that he likes and YAHDI and stuff like that. Let me fix that. So yeah, I don't have a mouse for this thing. I probably should have got that when I ordered my drive cage, because now I'm going to have to pay more money, or I can just find an old bus mouse. That will also work. So yeah, it's got a bunch of games on it. And obviously, here's the obligatory Toho stuff. I like Mystic Square more than Lotus Land Story, but that's just me. So yeah, there you go. The obligatory PC-98 game here. I played a normal with more players because I'm not good at this. Also, I forgot, make sure that this music is set to FM86 for those extra sound channels. And away you go. Shooting ghosts and shit with anime girls. Yeah. The PC-98 experience. So yeah, I think you get the point. So now, as far as I'm aware, for now, until it breaks about 2 days from now, this is a fully working PC-98. So, let's open up this thing back again. So the reason I like using this monitor rather than the monitor in my garage, obviously the monitor in my garage does not scale the window or the screen properly for the monitor, so things will go off the bottom because it's a little bit too tall. This monitor right here likes everything that I've thrown at it. It has a setting for, let's see here, if you go to image, I think the aspect control, it has an option for 1-to-1 scaling. So I could just blow it up, which is kind of dumb. It's really widescreen and huge. Or I could go 1-to-1 scaling, which does pretty nice scaling. It looks like it looks kind of like an emulator almost. If you were to run a really good emulator in full screen with like a little bit of bilinear filtering and a 1-to-1 scaling, it's pretty clear. Let's see if I go to like say, if I go to this here and zoom up on my horribly ugly, dusty monitor. Now I'm just gonna make it worse. So now that I got my nasty monitor cleaned off, what I like to do to show off kind of this monitor's scaling powers. What is this thing doing? Alright, oh, I was pushing the wrong buttons. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to go to the configuration for this game and change the side to the text mode. Kind of makes the right side look like a CGA game almost, with a couple more colors. However, the scaling is not quite perfect on this. I think I need to do a little bit of an auto adjust. Let's try this here. It was a lot better a while ago. It's got some phase issues or something like that. Not sure why. It was looking a lot better earlier. Yeah, it's being a pain. Anyway, oh, I know why, actually. Might be that Scan 31 is running in the background. This computer, or this monitor, does not mind 24 kilohertz video. So let's open up the text editor here and go to auto exec. Go down to Scan 32, whatever RAM. Let's set that on RAM so it doesn't run that. And then we can go here, save and quit. Let's restart the computer. So yeah, maybe I might put this image on a actual hard disk sometime. That way I can just enjoy the whirring and retarded noise of old technology. Yep. There we go. Since I turned off Scan 31, if we get close up here, you can see how kind of sharp that is. There's no real like weird blurring on the dithering there. So, makes for a pretty sharp image. So I think the reason why it was doing that dithering weird blurry shit was because it was running in 31 kilohertz instead of 24, which would be nice for running it on a CRT, but since I'm just going to use this, I mean, there's no point in running Scan 31. So, yeah, for now, that's a working PC-98, like I said, like 2 videos ago, but this time with a hard drive and less hardware issues, no more popping in the PC speaker, all that good stuff. So, we'll call on a day for that, and now you know how to put an image on a compact flash, I guess. I'm just repeating information that I've heard from other people, so good stuff. Anyway, I might make another video within the month, maybe just showcasing some of my favorite games I find on this image, and or other things I find on the internet, whatever. But yeah, it's a working computer now.